making homemade pizza, crust and all. So, gonna be adding some fresh mozzarella cheese, homemade sauce, the whole 9 yards. But we're gonna start with making the crust with just some all-purpose flour, yeast, salt, olive oil, and let's get going. Okay, I've measured out the flour, the yeast. I'll do the salt here in just a second. So salt and sugar in just a minute. But I'm doing a double recipe today because I'm making 2 pizzas for us. The recipe in the description will be for 1 pizza because you can double it. So I'm just doubling the recipe. So just going slow right now. And now I need to add the salt. Okay. Ooh, too much salt. Oh, I put way too much salt in there. And the sugar salt. Oh, there's a little bit too much of the salt on. I looked at my sugar thing. Instead of teaspoon, I did tablespoon, so it's going to be a little salty. I better maybe add a little more sugar. That was bad. Now look at that one. Instead of teaspoon on the salt, which I use tablespoon, which was for the sugar. So it's going to be a little on the salty side, but that'll be okay for pizza. Not twice the salt I should have done. I should have done 3/4 teaspoon salt, and I did 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt, and I doubled that. So I'm over double my salt where I should be, but I think that'll be okay. I'll cut the salt on the toppings, since the crust is going to be a little saltier. And now we're going to knead it. I need to add the olive oil too. And that is a tablespoon, so we need 2 tablespoons of that. And that is a tablespoon. And that's the last ingredient. I did everything right other than I looked at the salt, the sugar for the salt, and like I said, I got a little high there, but I don't think it's going to run it. It's just going to make it a little salty. I'm going to cut the salt on some of the toppings, and just know the crust is going to be a little on the saltier side. It's going to knead for a while now. Okay, we've finished now kneading the dough. It's a very sticky dough. I'm gonna have to get it out of here. I'm gonna use this pizza scraper. Get it out of here. A couple different sections. Like I said, this is a double crust now. So we'll be, after this rises, we'll be splitting it in half and making 2 crusts out of this. Try to get all the little dough, a little bit of sticky dough that's still in there. Not a whole lot, there's a little bit left. Might as well get it all. That's pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dust it a little bit, and we're going to knead it a little bit by hand. Here, it's kind of sticky as I said. And we're just going to work with it. I'm going to use a scraper, get it off the silicone. Actually, it's better to use a scraper to kind of turn it over. If it's really sticky, I got to incorporate this new flour. Kind of keep turning each corner on itself for a little bit. A little kneading by hand. Okay, I put this into a greased bowl. It's been sprayed with some olive spray. Kind of flip it over. And we'll cover it with a towel. And let it rise for about an hour. See you in an hour. Well, now we're going to start the sauce. And remember, salt to taste, but I'm going to be cutting the salt a little bit, so if you don't mess up like I did, hopefully you won't. A very bad moment for me, then you don't need to cut the salt. So I'm going to start with a little bit of kind of coarsely chopped onions, because that's just the way I like them in my pizza. Pretty hot. Okay, a nice hot pan. Okay, I'm continuing on. I'm now going to add some peppers to it. It's an orange pepper. I had a red one too, but I'll just go with the orange one. It's a little more caramelized than I normally do for this. I don't think that's going to hurt anything at all when I'm trying to cheese. We'll let the peppers saute a little bit. And while that's happening, I'll be doing some other prep. Okay, now I'm coming in with the mushrooms and garlic, and I have not crushed the garlic, I've just chopped it roughly, kind of coarsely, because I want a little bit of bite in this. And this is where I'm going a little lighter on the salt than I normally do because of what I did earlier. Another mistake. And now I'm adding some crushed tomatoes. They were whole tomatoes, so I crushed them here in my blender. Use a food processor, or you can just do it by hand, or you can just buy tomatoes that are already crushed. I add a little bit more granulated salt, garlic, and some dry oregano, and some red pepper flakes. And that ought to be pretty good. I'll stir that in just a second. Now this is just going to simmer for 30 to 45 minutes to get the flavor through it. And that'll be our topping that we will put on our pizzas lightly. We won't be using all the team for both of them. Okay, our pizza's been rising for an hour. We're now going to, as you can see, it's doubled in size, pretty well. Not too sticky. That's not too bad. I think I can work with that. So what I'm going to do is just pull it out of here because we oiled it. It's coming out pretty nicely. And I'm not going to measure this. I'm just going to eyeball it pretty darn close. It's pretty sticky on the inside. Might put a little bit of dust on it. Okay. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to push this dough to the side, and we're going to work with this one. And I'll only show you one here, since I don't need to do this twice on camera. I'll just repeat myself for the second one. I'm now just kind of turn it on to itself again, kind of forming that ball. And I know a lot of pizza purists say do this all by hand, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cheat because I just think it's easier. And if I get over here to the middle more, I can see how big my pizza is with this center ring. So keep rolling out. This side. That's why I'm making 2 pizzas. I knew they weren't going to be huge. Going to be medium-sized pizzas. And we're feeding 4. May do a side salad as well. This will be rich. Not perfectly round, as I would like it to be right now. So I'll have to work on that a little bit, but that's some of the fun. It's rustic. It's not perfect, just tasty. So got a good stretch to it. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Not gonna win any award for being perfectly round, but let's say it'll taste good. Okay, we're getting ready to build our pizza now. I put the sauce on there. Here's a little mozzarella. Oh, actually, that's provolone. Get a knife here. I'm gonna cut this in quarters. Just kind of spread it around. And we've got some Canadian bacon, some really good ham. Kind of splurged on that this time. Cut it in quarters as well. Shouldn't be cutting on this mat that tough. This is not a cutting mat. I'm gonna cut into it. That's not good. I better be a little more careful. I better grab my cutting board. Well, I don't think I need to cut too much anymore. And well, let's see, we might have, this is actually already sliced. Fresh mozzarella. And we're just gonna kind of spread this around a few different places. Get another one. Might even get one more. Break it in half or so. Okay. And then we got a little bit of pre-shredded mozzarella here, which my fingers are sliding out the other. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of put it on there lightly. I like it pretty cheesy, but hey, you build yours however you like it. You can even use a white sauce if you prefer that over a red sauce. It's the beauty of pizza. Make it the way you like it. Now I'm putting it into a 450 preheated oven. Actually, I'm cooking this on a one of the stones. I'll help crisp it up really good from the bottom. And it's in the oven now. Just kind of watch it, probably about 20 minutes. Well, our pizza just came out of the oven. I said 20 minutes. This probably, I think it only went, my oven was preheated 450. This went 12 minutes. So I'd say 12 to 15 minutes. You just gotta watch it. So 15 minutes would be really, 15 would be the max for me in my oven. So I've had this before, I know it's delicious.